In many African countries, becoming a widow is often the beginning of a terrible emotional and financial struggle. Humiliating rights, bullying by in-laws, or even expropriation, the lives of many widows seem like a punishment. The situation is exacerbated by the ignorance of the rights and the spirit of fatality of the victims. But in Pointe-Noire, a group of women has started to brainstorm together to bring change in their communities. Take a look.
Becoming a widow in the Congo is often the beginning of unimaginable injustice, including the loss of all basic rights. The widow is usually thrown out of the marital home, her property confiscated, and even deprived of her deceased husband's pension. Clémence Ngoma learned this the hard way.
They deprived me of my husband's pension. They make fun of me, saying that I can no longer benefit because of the complicated procedures. I'm not fooled. I'm both legally and traditionally married. And where were they when I supported my sick husband for 7 years?
In the Congo, civil marriage must be preceded by traditional or customary marriage. Traditional marriage is based on dowry, but although the dowry is capped at $100 by law, customary marriage has become increasingly expensive. For the proposal ceremony, the suitor can spend up to $10,000 on numerous gifts, plus an envelope for the in-laws and the reception for the guests. Many young people fear this ceremony before civil marriage and settle into an open-ended cohabitation. How can someone live with someone else's daughter for 15 or even 20 years without taking her to the city hall? Or we remove the obligation to dowry and we go to the city hall and make the dowry. So as the family code says, one of the parents should certify that after the marriage the dowry will be made. It is important to remember that it is not said that you should be endowed first before you get married. They say you can go and get married, but only if a certificate proves that the bride and groom will come to celebrate their dowry. However, we have reversed everything. The groom's family finds it difficult to accept this excessive expenditure on the party's organization, the various gifts, and the envelope offered to the in-laws. They often wait for the right moment to take revenge. Faced with the increasing number of abuses against widows, Jessica Goma had the idea of creating a group to take action against gender-based violence. It is an association of women lawyers aiming to combat these injustices in the Congo through awareness and advocacy.
Women should not lose their rights. This means everything, and it challenges us because we often have the impression that when a woman buries her husband, she buries her rights with him, which is quite absurd in the 21st century. After all, there are still laws that exist and which, unfortunately, are not applied as they should be.
The right to property and inheritance are provided for in the Constitution. However, they still elude widows who are reluctant to claim them in court for fear of reprisals or ignorance. The situation of cohabiting women who have lost their spouse is more worrying. They cannot benefit from any legal protection to inherit from the deceased spouse, and the status quo is unfortunately well entrenched in Congolese culture. A woman who calls herself a widow must be officially married, and the state must recognize that for her rights to apply, she must be married. She's not a woman who has been married customarily. The Reflection and Action Group Against Gender-Based Violence accompanies many widows and women in court daily to assert their rights. In addition to legal support, these lawyers also aim to empower the widows economically.
We need to create a cooperative of widows so they can work together, encourage and help each other, and above all make money from their activity. It's a question of women empowerment, and we are really encouraging all women to think about being autonomous and to find ways of being self-sufficient.
Several experts believe that the dowry, once symbolic, is similar to the commodification of women and that it is an obstacle to legal marriage in Congolese society. Perhaps its symbolic value should be restored to avoid family tensions and give women their dignity back. The next challenge for the Reflection Group is to intensify its lobbying towards the government and members of parliament to shake up the prevailing inaction surrounding this complex societal issue.